Hi there, this is Ms. Pathlin, and I will be going over session 2, which is the calculator portion, and you are given 80 minutes to complete this section. So for this video, I will be going through 15 through 21. Number 15 says, a system of equations is shown. What is the x value of the solution to the system of equations? Enter your answer in the box. So we have to solve these systems. We can use graphing, elimination, or substitution. I am going to use elimination. So if I want to solve for x, then I want to eliminate the y. I'm noticing, so they're both lined up. I have my x terms lined up, my y terms, and then equal to my constant value. I'm seeing that I have plus 2y and then negative y. So I know I can eliminate the y term if this is negative 2, because positive 2y plus negative 2y equals 0. And that's the goal, is to eliminate one of them. So I'm going to multiply this entire equation by 2. And then I get 8x minus 2y equals 50. And then I need to write that first equation above it the same. 2x plus 2y equals 17. Then I add them together. 2x plus 8x is 10x. This cancels out and equals 0. And equals 67. Now I just need to solve for x. Divide by 10 to both sides. X equals, and then I have my calculator. 67 divided by 10, 6.7. It's always good to check your answer to make sure you have it correct. So if we go back and plug it in to the original equations, so 4 times 6.7 minus y equals 25. So now I'm solving for y before I can check both are correct. 6.7 times 4 equals 26.8 minus y equals 25. I need to get y isolated. Subtract 26.8 from both sides. 25 minus 26.8 equals negative 1.8. Negative y equals negative 1.8. Divide by negative 1. Y equals positive 1.8. Then if I plug these values both in, 6.7 for x, 1.8 for y, 4 times 6.7 minus 1.8 equals 25. 4 times 6.7 equals 26.8 minus 1.8. 25 does equal 25. And then if you also plug it in, your values into the other equation, 2x plus 2y equals 17, it should also equal the same on both sides. So I know my answer is x equals 6.7. Number 16. A quadratic function f of x is graphed in the xy coordinate plane, in which quadrant would be the vertex of f of x plus 3 plus 2 be located. Circle the correct quadrant below. So when it's given in this form, we have to think about the translations that are happening. So currently we need to look at where the vertex is, and that's at negative 1, negative 1. This translation, if the x plus 3 is inside the parentheses, then it's going to be the opposite. So if it says plus 3, that means that on the x-axis it's moving negative 3, so x minus 3. And then the plus 2 on the outside would be showing a change vertically, going up or down. So it's the y value plus 2. So if I go back over here and I plug in my x and y values, negative 1 minus 3 equals negative 4, and negative 1 plus 2 equals positive 1. So my new vertex would be at negative 4, 1. So if I graph that, -4, 1, this is in quadrant 2. Number 17. The formula for finding perimeter P of a rectangle with length L and width W is given. P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. Which formula shows how the length can be determined from the perimeter and the width? So how the length can be determined, and if you look at all the options, we need to solve for L. So we want to isolate L, solve for L, which equals length. And we use the cursive L so it doesn't look like a 1. So right now we have P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. We want to get L by itself. So right now I need to get rid of the plus 2W by subtracting it from both sides. Then I get 2L equals P minus 2W. 2 times L, I need to isolate my L, so I need to divide both sides by 2. L equals P minus 2 times W divided by 2. So that would give us letter B, option B. Number 18. A projectile is shot into the air. The altitude of the projectile after t seconds is modeled by the function graphed. Time t is measured in seconds and altitude h of t is measured in feet. Which of these statements is true? So I'm just going to go through each one and use process of elimination. The projectile reaches a maximum altitude of 12 feet. Well, if we look at our graph, our height, our altitude is on our y-axis. So to look at the maximum, I would look at the vertex here. This is our maximum. And I would look at the y value, which is 19.4. That is not 12 feet. Now, the 12 here represents the time in seconds, our x value, but that's not correct for the altitude. So I can eliminate that option. The projectile reaches its maximum altitude after 12 seconds of flight. Well, we just went over that. The vertex is the maximum height of the projectile, and it is at 12 seconds, so that is correct. C, the projectile is launched from the ground. Well, I have to go to the starting point. This is where it was launched. That's at 0 seconds, 5 feet in height, so no, it was not launched from the ground. The altitude of the projectile is increasing on the interval t is greater than 5 and less than 20. So that t is for time. Well, if we go to the interval for time, it goes from 0 seconds and then it goes to, for increasing, it would be the vertex here, which is 12. So that is not correct. So our answer is B. All right, next page. You can just set them in the purple bin for me, please. Part B, the table models the flight of the projectile from part A. Which of these statements is true? Thank you. H of 4 is less than H of 20. So again, I'm going to use the process of elimination and go through each of these and decide if it's true or false. So for a H of 4, so again, when we're looking at the expression H of 4, the 4 represents our x value, or in this case our t value. And so I would go to t is 4 seconds, and that H of 4 equals 13. That's the height. So I put 13. Then I want to go to where the time is 20 seconds. That also has a height of 13. 13 equals 13. This is showing it's less than 13. So this is not a correct option. B, the flight is symmetric about the line t equals 10. Well, looking at our table, I see these both outside values have 5. 13, 17 and 8/10, and 19.4. This would be the line of symmetry where x equals 12 or where t equals 12, because it's going to have the same height on each side of that line of symmetry, and t equals 12. So that cannot be correct. The projectile will hit the ground at some value t less than 24. Well, it's going to hit the ground when the height, the altitude, equals 0. We do not have h of t equals 0 on this, but I see that when it's 24, it is at 5 feet still. So it has to be greater. T has to be greater than 24. I apologize for all the background noise right now. So if 0, or properly say this, if a is greater than 0 and less than 12, then h of 12 minus a equals h of 12 plus a. So this is looking at the altitude. So if I go over here, or the time that it took for that certain altitude. So if I go to the axis of symmetry, which is 12, and I add 4, I get 16 for time, and that's 17.8 in altitude. If I do 12 minus 4, I get 8, and that would also equal 17.8. If I subtract 4 again, I get 13. If I add 4 to 16, I get 20, and I also get 13. So this would be true. Number 19, a random sample of 200 teenagers participated in a taste test. Each teenager sampled 4 choices of fruit drink labeled A, B, C, and D, and then were asked to pick a favorite. The table shows the results of this taste test. Based on the information given, which of the following statements are true? So 40% of the participants were girls. So we go to the total. Total girls was 80 out of 200. So we would have to divide to find the percentage. 80 divided by 200. If I go here, 80 divided by 200 equals 0.4 or 0.4. To convert that to percentage, we multiply by 100 or move the decimal 2 to the right. That would be 40%. So that option is correct. 70% of the participants preferred A. So I go to option A. 70 total boys and girls did, but then I need to divide that by 200 to find the percentage. So 70 divided by 200 times 100 for a percent is 35%. That is not correct. 20 out of 120 of the boys preferred D. So I go to option D. 20 boys did prefer out of a total of 120 boys. That answer is correct. 10 out of 35 of the participants who preferred B were girls. So I go to my girls, B, 10 out of 35 participants. So that is the total here. I'm making a video. I know, I'm trying to finish my video. 10 of the 35 of the participants who preferred B were girls. So since it's talking about participants, that is 35, that is correct. E, the proportion of boys who preferred C is equal to proportions of girls who preferred C. So I go to C, 30 boys, 30 girls. So these are all correct. So A, C, D, and E. 20. A local theater sells admission tickets for $9 on Thursday nights. At capacity, the theater holds 100 customers. The function of M of N equals 9N represents the amount of money the theater takes in on Thursday nights, where N is the number of customers. What is the domain of M of N in this context? So let's look at what it represents. It represents the amount of money the theater takes in on Thursday nights, where N is the number of customers. N equals number of customers. And they can only hold 100 customers. So max of 100 customers. All right, so looking at our option, all whole numbers. Well, whole numbers include all integers, which are positive and negative. We can't have negative people. All non-negative rational numbers. Rational numbers include fractions. Again, that ratio. We can't have a fraction of a person. All non-negative integers that are multiples of 9. Well, we can have 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. It doesn't have to be multiples of 9. It was just saying $9 per ticket. All non-negative integers less than or equal to 100. Yes. Non-negative can't have negative people. Integers are whole numbers, so only positive, and it has to be less than or equal to 100. All right, 21. The graphs of f of x equals negative x cubed minus 4 and g of x equals 5 times x squared plus x plus 4 are given. Use the graphs to find the solution to the equation. So when they're equal to each other, by looking at the graph, it's where the lines intersect. It's where they touch each other. And we want to find where x equals, so that would be negative 2. To double check this, we can plug it into the formula and make sure it does equal each other. So to check, I would do negative 2 cubed minus 4 equals 0.5 times negative 2 squared plus negative 2 plus 4. All right, then when you're doing a negative in the calculator, you want to put it in parentheses. Negative 2 squared equals positive 4, but I saw that negative on that side, so negative 4 minus 4 equals, oh, I did squared, it's cubed. Let's go back. Negative 2, and then if you use this caret symbol to the third power, that's negative 8. So negative 8 minus 4 equals, then negative 2 squared is on the other side, was positive 4 times 0.5. 4 times 0.5 is 2 equals 2 minus 2 plus 4. Negative 8 minus 4. I am just all over the place. All these distractions have me all flustered with these phone calls and everything. Sorry, negative 2 to the third power was negative 8. Then we still have this negative on the outside of the parentheses, so a negative times a negative would equal positive 8 minus 4. 2 minus 2 is 0 plus 4. 8 minus 4 is 4 equals 4. It checks out, so our answer is x equals negative 2. Thank you for watching, and I apologize for all these interruptions. See you next time.